lessons I've learned in this quarantine.
I touch the sky when my knees hit the ground.
So of course, diba, every one of us receive, diba, yung mga lesson or yung mga realization that we have during this season, in this pandemic, or while we are being quarantined in our own homes, diba? Lahat tayo, may kanya-kanya tayong lessons na natutunan or na-receive. Like for example, I want to be like this someday. I'm going to achieve this one in the future. I'm going to be a chef, I'm going to be a nurse, diba? I'm going to be an FA, I'm going to, parang may mga pangarap tayo na gusto natin ma-achieve someday. Mas na-realize natin siya ngayon, especially hindi tayo makalabas ng bahay, hindi tayo makagala, di ba? Hindi tayo maka-attend ng mga errands na meron tayo sa life natin. So with that, ano nga ba yung mga natutunan ko personally, di ba? I'm going to discuss with you those lessons or those realizations I had during this quarantine. So the first one that I learned in this pandemic that I want to share with you is that loving yourself is not selfish, or it's not being selfish. Why? Bakit ko nga ba nasabi na loving yourself or putting yourself first is not being selfish? Kasi diba, yung parang mindset na nating lahat na parang kapag inuna mo yung sarili mo or inuna mo muna na i-decide kung ano yung para sa'yo, everyone will tell you, people will tell you, you're so selfish because you put yourself first. Hindi mo man lang ka inuna, or hindi mo man lang inuna yung ganito, yung ganyan. You have to be practical and whatsoever na pwedeng masabi ng ibang tao when you put yourself first, diba? So that's why we are being afraid, or there's a fear in us to put ourselves first, to love ourselves. Because in our mindset, you have to put others first always. That you'll come to that point that you are depriving yourself already. Nade-deprive mo na kung ano yung mga kailangan mo. You are depriving what you need in life and what you want for your life, for your future, your dreams. It is okay for you to love yourself. According to Matthew 22:39, love your neighbors as you love yourself. When you say that you love other people, yes, I love my family, I love my friends, I love my church mates, I love everyone that is surrounding me. That's okay, but loving them is also loving yourself. Because you cannot love them if it doesn't start from yourself. Kung hindi mo mahal yung sarili mo, paano ka na nga lang ba magmamahal ng iba? Kailangan lagi magmumula sa'yo. Because if you love yourself first, you will learn to love others as well. You will learn to love those unlovable ones. Yung mga tao na lagi na lang silang dinedeprive or lagi silang nare-reject ng ibang tao, pero ikaw mamahalin mo sila. Because you love yourself. I know that I love myself so that I will love others as well. Even those who are unlovable. Even those who are always rejected by their families, by their friends. Diba? You will love those people because you love yourself. The second one is that deal with your mental health issues. So diba, it is cliche for everyone na parang lagi na lang natin ito naririnig. Yes, because it is important. It is important na pinapangalagaan mo not just physically, your body, diba? Not just your emotionally, but also mentally, diba? Actually, it is affected with your emotions. Because we don't want to be sad anymore. Because we don't want to cry anymore. We just keep on getting on the other way. Kasi feeling natin, yun lang yung solusyon. Yun lang yung key para maiwasan natin na malungkot na tayo, na umiyak tayo, to keep on overthinking, diba? But for me, I realized personally that I do not have to deprive my mental health issues. Hindi ko siya kailangan iwasan. Hindi ko na siya kayang maliitin. But I learned to deal with it alone. Kasi diba parang right now, we do not have any outlet how to release our stress with our family problems or even with our online classes that we are having right now or anything else na nagpapastress sa atin. We do not have any outlet. Kung dati, just hanging out with your friends outside or eating with your friends, eating with your family will be your outlet to release your stress or your anxieties. Pero ngayon hindi na siya pwede. So what are you going to do? Are you getting along with the chaos that is happening right now, or you're going to prevent it? For me personally, I learned that I have to deal with it. kailangan hindi ko siyang iwasan. Kasi kapag iniwasan ko siya, it will get worse. It will get worse. My overthinking will get worse. My anxieties, my fears will just get worse if I did not face it. So right now, if you are being discouraged facing your mental health issues, you are one of those people who are having anxieties, who have been overthinking every night or crying every night because of the things that happened in the past, or because of you thinking what will happen in my future, with our future, diba? Ano nga lang ba yung mangyari? I want to encourage you right now to deal with it. Hindi mo siya kailangan iwasan. Deal with it and overcome it. Face it and you will overcome it. You have the Lord by your side. So the third one is depend on God alone. You have to depend on God alone. Why? Because you cannot do it by yourself. We cannot do it by ourselves. We cannot do anything apart from Him. Diba? Na parang right now, we are being challenged. We are being tested. If you're really true with your faith or with your belief that the Lord will do something greater for you. That His plans is still above your plans. Diba? But depending on Him is also trusting Him. Trusting what God can do in our lives. Trusting that when God moves His hands again in our lives, miracles upon miracles will still happen. And He is still able to perform those. You have to depend on God alone. Right now, why? Because, alam mo yun, we do not have anyone by our sides anymore. I'm not saying that your family is not by your side. Yes, let's say that you have your family with you. But what about those dealings that you have na hindi mo ma-share sa ibang tao? It is now the time for you to open up to God. It is now the time for us to vent out our feelings, our emotions, our dealings, our hardships to the Lord. Depend on Him alone. Because love from other people can fail. When we seek attention, when we seek love from other people, and they gave it to us, but it will not satisfy us. Because sometimes it will fail. It will sometimes become our disappointments. But God's love will never disappoint you. Depending on God will never disappoint us. Because when we depend on Him, He will always give His best. When you feel like you are alone right now, you just have yourself, you have to comfort yourself alone. No, the Lord is with you. You have Him by your side. Depend on Him. Come to Him and He will open the door. You just have to come to Him. Pray and come to Him and He will open the door. And He will be with you. He will always be with you. Number 4, I learned that we really have to set goals. Kailangan natin mag-set ng goals for our future, or yung mga gusto nating gawin for our future, di ba? Na parang yung mga gusto natin maging. We have to set goals not just for our future but for what is about to happen, for what is about to come. Kung alam mo na parang ito yung goals ko, I want to become like this. If I already graduated from college or from senior high school, I want to take this course, or I want to take this job. I want to become like this someday. I have to set goals. You have to set goals, not just for yourself, but also for your family. You have to set goals. You have to study well and set goals. Taasan mo yung pangarap mo, because God will never fail you. Sabi sa Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That is what God promised to us. Rest assured that your future is in God's hand. He will give His best for your future. Not just for your future, but for now. Also for now. But you have to know your limitations. When you set goals and you fail to have it with you, that's fine. You just have to redo it again. You just have to try it again, or look for other things that you want to do in your life, or you want to achieve someday. It is okay. Because God said that many are the plans of a man's heart, but it is His plans that will always prevail. When you fail, it's okay. Just stand up again. You are not your failures. What you do right now will affect your future. So be wise and set goals. Number 5, what God removed in our lives, He will replace it with something better, or with something best. Those people who left you, especially in this pandemic, ang daming nawala, ang daming nagsawa, di ba, na parang nakalimutan ka na. So, parang feeling mo, mag-isa ka na lang, ganon. Feeling mo, kaya ka nila iniwan because you do not deserve them, because you do not deserve to feel love or to be loved by other people. No, that's not true. Because God will replace it with something better. If you lost someone you love, or you lost your friend, or you lost something that you really value, it is okay. Because God will replace it with something better. If God takes it away, He will replace it with something better. Sometimes blessing is not those things that is being add up in our lives. Sometimes blessing is what God takes away. Maybe it is not for us, or maybe it will just bring harm to us. Number 6 that I learned or realized in this quarantine or in this pandemic that is happening to us. Patok na patok to sa mga youth out there. Of course, including me. Hindi naman ako exempted dito. So, never ever or do not settle with quarantine love. At yung mga nakakausap or mga nagiging ka-MU nila, lagi nilang araw-araw nilang kausap, ka-video call, ka-call, diba? So, di ko kayo, I'm not condemning anyone here, but I'm just sharing my thoughts, or I'm just sharing my realization that we do not have to settle with that because it is only driven by our emotions. Nadadala lang tayo just because we are bored. Never ever settle for to be in a relationship with someone just because we are bored or just because we do not have someone to talk to. It is for us to avoid those confusion na nararanasan natin or naiisip natin na hala, love na ba to or what? Parang wala namang label and so on and so forth. I want you to remember that love and that love and infatuation is different. Love, for me love, it should receive, oh my gosh. Nakidlat guys, sorry. Love should receive a blessing from your parents. It is sacred. Love is sacred. Hindi mo na siya pinapasok basta-basta kasi bored ka or wala kang magawa. Kasi it is a lifetime commitment. You are committing to your lifetime partner. We are entering a relationship for us to be married someday. And infatuation is just a temporary feelings or emotion. Love should not bring confusion. Kapag nag-bring siya ng confusion or kapag nagdalawang isip ka, it is just an infatuation. So never ever settle because it is only driven by our emotion. It is just an infatuation. I'm not condemning anyone else, but I'm just sharing my thoughts or realizations that I had in this pandemic based on my experiences. Never ever settle. Wait for God's best. Puhon. Also, according to Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 7, do not awaken love until it is the right time. You do not have to awaken love just because you are bored. You do not have to commit to a person or to another person just because you do not have someone to share your thoughts with. And for my number 7, last lesson I've learned, we have to fight for our faith. What do I mean? In this pandemic, there's a lot of people who backslide from their faith or who backslide from God. Many of us being stagnant with our faith or with reading the Bible, with praying because we are tired to expect that everything will be normal again. We have to fight for our faith because it is our weapon. It is the best weapon that we have every time that we overthink or mental health mess up. It is our faith that fights for you. It is your faith, it is your relationship with God that will sustain you. Let us continue to fight for our faith. Huwag natin talikuran yung commitment natin sa Panginoon. Fight for your faith, fight for your ministry. Kailangan mong i-overcome to. It triggers our spiritual life or our spiritual hunger. Kasi hindi na tayo napupunta ng church or we go to church virtually only, di ba? Our commitment or our faith is not just based when we are on church. Our faith should also be between you and God. If you're struggling personally right now, it is okay for you to ask your leader, your churchmate, or you can even chat me if you are having troubles, if you are struggling with your faith, with your commitment to the Lord. I'm also not an exemption with that. Kasi ako din, And personally, naging stagnant ako, hindi ako nakakapag-devotion, hindi ako nakakapag-pray, and wala siyang magandang nadulot. Nanhina lang ako. Kasi when your spiritual life is being damaged, everyone else, or in all ways, you are also being damaged. Kaya para lang yung katawan, kapag masakit yung ipin mo, hindi ka na makabangon, hindi ka na makatayo, apektado yung buong katawan mo. And when your spiritual life, ito yung naapektuhan, everything else is also messed up. So you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your faith, fight for your faith, fight for your ministry, fight for your church, fight for God, and fight with God. You are not alone in this pandemic because God will always be with us. So that's all for today's video, and I hope you learned something from me. Again, it is just my own, or it is my personal realizations and lessons I've learned in this pandemic. And I just want to share it with you guys. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed this video. May God continue to bless you and keep you. Shalom! God bless everyone!